The universe necessarily had a beginning, independent of the Big Bang. Even without reference to the Big Bang, we can show that the universe necessarily had a beginning, based on philosophical reasoning, scientific principles, and metaphysical considerations. Here, we show that the universe must have had a beginning, without reliance on the Big Bang, and we discuss the implications of this conclusion. 1. The impossibility of an infinite past. One of the strongest philosophical arguments for the necessity of a beginning comes from the impossibility of an infinite past. This is rooted in the nature of infinity and the logical problems that arise when attempting to apply it to real-world events or time. If the universe had no beginning, it would mean that time stretches infinitely into the past. In such a scenario, an infinite number of moments would have to pass before reaching the present moment. This creates an insurmountable paradox. It is impossible to traverse an infinite sequence of events. If the past were infinite, we could never arrive at the present, because there would always be an infinite number of moments preceding it. Therefore, the very existence of now indicates that the sequence of past events must be finite, meaning time, and with it, the universe, must have had a beginning. 2. The argument from causality. The principle of causality, which holds that everything that begins to exist must have a cause, also supports the idea that the universe had a beginning. The universe is not exempt from this principle. If the universe had no beginning, it would exist eternally without a cause, which defies both logic and observed reality. Let us consider the universe as a collection of contingent entities, galaxies, stars, planets, and even fundamental particles. Contingent things require an explanation for their existence because they do not necessarily exist. They could fail to exist, and their existence depends on other factors. If the universe is contingent, then it cannot be self-explanatory. It must have a cause external to itself. This cause, however, must itself be necessary and non-contingent, otherwise, it too would require an explanation. The existence of a contingent universe logically points to the existence of a necessary cause, a cause that exists independently of the universe and brought it into existence. Since the universe began to exist, there must be a point at which this cause acted, thus marking the beginning of time and the universe. 3. The second law of thermodynamics. Another powerful argument for the necessity of a beginning comes from the second law of thermodynamics. This law states that in a closed system, the amount of usable energy decreases over time as entropy increases. In other words, the universe is running down. If the universe had no beginning, it would have been in a state of maximum entropy by now, with no usable energy left for processes like star formation or even biological life. The fact that the universe still contains usable energy and has not reached thermodynamic equilibrium indicates that it cannot have existed eternally into the past. An eternal universe would have exhausted all its available energy long ago. This points to a finite past and, consequently, a beginning. Thus, the second law of thermodynamics strongly supports the conclusion that the universe had a definite starting point. 4. The metaphysical necessity of a beginning. Beyond physical and philosophical arguments, there are deep metaphysical considerations that suggest the universe must have had a beginning. One key concept is the nature of contingent beings and necessary beings. Everything in the universe appears contingent. Its existence is not logically necessary but rather depends on external factors. The universe itself, as the totality of contingent things, must therefore have a cause or explanation for its existence. The existence of the universe cannot be explained by an infinite regress of contingent causes, as this would leave the ultimate cause unexplained. Instead, there must be a necessary being, a cause that does not depend on anything external for its existence and that exists in a self-sufficient, timeless, and changeless manner. This necessary being is the metaphysical ground for the universe's existence. If the universe had no beginning, it would either have to be eternal, which, as we have seen, is impossible, or explain its existence through a necessary cause. The fact that the universe is contingent strongly implies that its cause acted at a specific point in time, thus initiating the universe's existence. A necessary being, existing outside of time, would cause the universe to begin in time, giving rise to the temporal and spatial reality we experience. 5. Independent of the Big Bang. While the Big Bang theory is often presented as the primary model of the universe's beginning, the arguments for a necessary beginning stand independently of this particular theory. The Big Bang describes how the universe evolved from a hot, dense state approximately 13.8 billion years ago, but it does not address the deeper question of why the universe began or what caused it. Even if one were to posit alternative models, such as a cyclical universe or a multiverse, the fundamental problem of an infinite past remains. Cyclical models, which propose that the universe undergoes an eternal series of expansions and contractions, still face the issue of entropy. With each cycle, entropy would increase, making it impossible for the cycles to continue indefinitely. Similarly, multiverse theories, which suggest that our universe is just one of many, still require a beginning for the entire multiverse, as an infinite regress of universes is metaphysically and logically untenable. Thus, the necessity of a beginning for the universe is not contingent on any particular cosmological theory. It arises from the logical, philosophical, and metaphysical principles that apply to any model of the universe. 6. The theological implications, creation and a timeless cause. The theological implications of a universe with a necessary beginning are profound. The idea of a beginning aligns with the doctrine of creation ex nihilo, the belief that God created the universe out of nothing. This doctrine posits that the universe did not emerge from pre-existing material but was brought into existence by a transcendent cause. A timeless, necessary cause is precisely the kind of cause that classical theism attributes to God. Unlike the universe, which is contingent, God is understood to be a necessary being, existing outside of time and space, with no beginning and no end. The universe's beginning, therefore, is consistent with the existence of an eternal creator who brings contingent reality into existence. From a Christian perspective, the beginning of the universe also fits with the biblical assertion that, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. Theologically, this marks the moment when time, space, matter, and energy came into existence, dependent on the will of God. 7. Conclusion. The universe necessarily had a beginning. In conclusion, the universe must have had a beginning, regardless of the specific cosmological model, such as the Big Bang. Philosophical reasoning about the impossibility of an infinite past, the implications of the second law of thermodynamics, and metaphysical considerations about causality and contingency all point to the necessity of a beginning. The universe, as a contingent entity, cannot have existed eternally without a cause. The necessity of a beginning aligns with the notion of a transcendent, necessary cause, an eternal creator who exists outside of time and brought the universe into existence. Thus, both reason and metaphysics support the conclusion that the universe had a definite beginning, independent of any particular cosmological theory, pointing to the profound reality of a cause that is greater than the universe itself. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.